Good morning, and welcome to your AI Daily Press morning podcast for September 11, 2025. We have a trio of developing stories to bring you up to speed on, all centered around escalating tensions in Eastern Europe. Firstly, Russian drones breached Polish airspace, prompting a swift response from NATO forces. This incident has brought the region to the brink of open conflict, with Poland's prime minister warning that this situation is the closest we've been to war since World War II. The Kremlin has dismissed the incident as groundless, but experts agree that NATO must respond decisively to deter further aggression from Russia. In related news, Poland has confirmed that Russian drones entered its airspace during an attack on Ukraine, sparking widespread condemnation from Western leaders. This incident has prompted a strong response from NATO, with the alliance invoking Article 4 of its treaty and working to determine the exact circumstances surrounding the drone incursion. The situation in Eastern Europe has reached a critical juncture, and the consequences of inaction could be severe. The UK Defence Secretary has announced plans to bolster NATO's air defence capabilities over Poland, including the possible deployment of additional RAF Typhoon jets. We'll continue to provide in-depth analysis and coverage of these developing stories, ensuring that our listeners remain informed and up-to-date on the latest developments. That's all for now. We'll be back with more news and updates after this break. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
You, Walter, and then she'll know what's right now. Good morning, I'm Barbara, and welcome to the AI Daily Press morning podcast. Today we're covering several significant stories from around the world. Firstly, we have a developing crisis in Gaza, where the Israeli military has issued an evacuation order for the population of Gaza City, sparking widespread concern and condemnation from the international community. The situation is dire, with reports of intensified bombing and at least 50 people killed in the last 24 hours. In related news, a Gaza aid flotilla carrying climate activist Greta Thunberg has reported a second drone attack in 24 hours, highlighting the risks faced by those attempting to deliver humanitarian aid to the region. The international community is calling for sanctions and a partial trade suspension against Israel, with European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen condemning the use of man-made famine as a weapon of war. In other news, U.S. President Donald Trump is set to make his second state visit to the UK, a historic occasion that will include a state banquet at Windsor Castle and a bilateral meeting with Prime Minister Keir Starmer. However, the visit will not include any public engagements in London due to expected protests. Additionally, Prime Minister Keir Starmer met with Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas, where they agreed that there would be no role for Hamas in the future governance of a Palestinian state. The UK is also hosting an Israeli leader, with discussions expected to focus on the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. These stories highlight the complexities and sensitivities involved in international diplomacy, particularly concerning the Middle East peace process and transatlantic relations. We will continue to provide balanced and in-depth analysis as these developments unfold. That's all for now. Thank you for joining me on this morning's edition of the AI Daily Press. Now for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. Firstly, we're taking a closer look at two recent IPO filings from Billion Group Holdings Ltd. and Klarna Group plc. While both companies show growth potential, their valuations and underlying risks raise concerns. We recommend exercising caution and avoiding buying into the hype. In other news, Oracle Corporation has released its quarterly earnings report, leaving Wall Street analysts and investors stunned. The company's impressive performance has cemented its position as a leader in the AI infrastructure market, with remaining performance obligations jumping 50% to $455 billion. This outstanding contract revenue has driven Oracle's stock price skyrocketing, adding over $300 billion in market value. Lastly, the S&P 500 and Nasdaq have reached record highs, fueled by renewed faith in the AI boom. As the tech industry continues to evolve, one thing is clear: AI and technology are dominating the landscape. we'll be providing ongoing coverage and insights to help you navigate these changes. That's all for now. Stay informed, stay cautious, and remember, wisdom is often the best investment of all. Tune in throughout the day for more updates and analysis from the AI Daily Press. Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. Firstly, NASA's Perseverance rover has discovered potential signs of ancient life on Mars. The rover has found fossilized bacteria in a Martian rock, which could be evidence of past life on the red planet. This groundbreaking discovery has significant implications for our understanding of the universe and the possibility of life beyond Earth. Secondly, the editorial team at Nature has issued an expression of concern regarding a research article published in 2007. The article, titled "Recovery of Learning and Memory is Associated with Chromatin Remodeling," has been called into question due to allegations of image manipulation. This incident highlights the importance of transparency and accountability in scientific research. Lastly, scientists have confirmed a theory proposed by renowned physicist Stephen Hawking over 50 years ago. The finding, announced yesterday, is based on the analysis of gravitational waves detected by the Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory. The discovery confirms Hawking's theory that a black hole's event horizon cannot shrink and provides further evidence for the validity of general relativity. These stories demonstrate the power of human curiosity and the importance of continued investment in scientific research. We'll be following these developments closely and providing updates as more information becomes available. Thank you for joining us on this morning's edition of the AI Daily Press. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and we'll see you tomorrow. Now for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. Good morning, folks. Welcome to the AI Daily Press morning podcast. I'm your host, Howard. We've got a thrilling lineup for you today, so let's dive right in. First off, the AFC West is heating up, and the Kansas City Chiefs can no longer take their dominance for granted. With the Chargers, Broncos, and Raiders all poised to challenge their supremacy, this division is shaping up to be one of the most competitive in the NFL. In other news, baseball fans are in for a treat today, with top sportsbooks offering exclusive promo codes that could help you win big. Our friends at Sportsline have revealed their top picks for Wednesday's games, including backing the Cincinnati Reds against the San Diego Padres. Don't miss out on these exciting matchups and potentially lucrative deals. And finally, in the NFL, former Ravens quarterback Joe Flacco is set to face his old team for the first time on the road as he leads the Cleveland Browns into M&T Bank Stadium on Sunday. This emotional matchup promises to be an exciting clash between two teams with high aspirations for the season. Will Flacco's return to Baltimore be a triumphant one, or will the Ravens' current roster prove too strong? Tune in on Sunday to find out. That's all for now, folks. Now for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Curl.
Thank you, Howard. Firstly, we took a closer look at the recent shooting incident at Evergreen High School in Colorado, where at least 2 students were wounded. Our thoughts are with the students, families, and staff affected by this tragic event. We acknowledge the fear and uncertainty it has caused, and emphasize the importance of working together to prevent such tragedies from occurring. In a different part of the country, we followed the story of Sean Charles Dunn, also known as the DC Sandwich Guy, who pleaded not guilty to misdemeanor assault charges related to an incident involving a federal officer. His actions have sparked a wider conversation about law enforcement and community relations. Lastly, we explored the story of Vitas, a healthcare company that has been making headlines with its innovative approach to end-of-life care. Unfortunately, this story was not fully developed in our previous broadcasts, but it highlights the complexities and challenges of American life, where ordinary people are doing extraordinary things. These stories remind us of the resilience and strength of the American people, who continue to inspire us with their courage, compassion, and determination. As we navigate these complexities, it's essential to approach each story with empathy, understanding, and a deep appreciation for the human experience. That's all for now. Thank you for joining me on this morning's edition of the AI Daily Press. We'll continue to follow these stories and bring you updates, insights, and diverse perspectives in the coming days and weeks. I'm Charles, and we'll see you again soon. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. I'm your host, Joan. Let's dive into the top stories we've been covering this week. First up, we're just days away from the Emmy Awards, and we can't wait to see who takes home the top honors. We'll be bringing you all the latest updates and analysis after the ceremony, so be sure to tune in for that. In other news, we shone the spotlight on footwear brand Daniela Cheval, which has been making waves in both the fashion and music industries with its stunning, handmade leather shoes and boots. From the runway to the stage, this brand is one to watch, and we're excited to see how it continues to make its mark on the fashion world. And finally, we've got the latest scoop on the Real Housewives of New Jersey reboot. Teresa Giudice is speaking out about rumors that she's not part of the new season, and Bravo's still keeping mum on official casting decisions. But with a fresh start on the horizon and Andy Cohen at the helm, we know one thing for sure: it's going to be a wild ride. That's all for now, folks. Thanks for tuning in to the AI Daily Press Morning Podcast. We'll be back with more updates and analysis throughout the day, so stay entertained, and we'll see you tomorrow. Now for the latest in nature and environment, here is David Attenacher.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, our investigation into wildlife trafficking has revealed that local demand for pangolin meat is driving poaching in southeast Nigeria, challenging conventional wisdom that international demand for scales is the primary driver. This finding emphasizes the need for a multidimensional approach to conservation, addressing poverty, law enforcement, and cultural sensitivities. Secondly, we're reporting on the devastating impact of lithium mining on indigenous communities and fragile ecosystems in northern Argentina. The proposed mining project threatens the habitat of 2 globally threatened flamingo species and risks disrupting the delicate ecosystem, highlighting the paradox that green industries can harm the very environments they aim to protect. Lastly, our coverage of wildlife trafficking has exposed the dark underbelly of the trade, with local communities and conservationists calling for greater transparency and accountability in the face of government-backed mining projects. These stories serve as a stark reminder that environmental protection and human rights must be prioritized in the pursuit of sustainable development. We'll continue to bring you in-depth analysis and updates on these critical issues. For now, thank you for tuning in to the AI Daily Press Morning Podcast. Stay informed, stay vigilant. And that completes our morning podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until this evening, I'm David Attenacher for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.